Hey, Boaz here with Next Pittsburgh. We're here at the Frank Bryan Concrete Factory. It's been here since 1883. That's wild. And we've got, I think these folks, you're like fifth generation, right? Caleb and Justin of Bryan, obviously, and your great grandfather founded this company.
Yes, yeah. Back in 1883, started out as a excavation company.
And you're still making concrete.
Yeah, every day. This facility runs, and we do a lot of the projects in Pittsburgh that we've been doing for a long time. So it's a really cool facility to be a part of.
Okay, well, let's find out how concrete is made. So, where does it all start?
So starts basically from the river.
These are barges. We have these barges and towboats that move sand and gravel. The sand and gravel we harvest from the bottom of the river.
You're like with like a claw, you're like going down to the bottom of the river and pulling up stuff.
Yep, we have a few dredges that dig from the bottom of the river, natural material that was deposited there during the glaciers, when the glaciers moved through. So we have certain areas of the river that we have permitted. We're able to harvest the sand and gravel and bring it up. Being able to bring the raw materials in by water makes us really efficient. And being so close to town, where we're delivering a lot of concrete products into the city, we're 5 minutes into town, so we can do a large volume of concrete with very minimal trucks. Yeah. This is shot gravel, or number 8's gravel. This comes from the bottom of the river. We dig it up, we clean it, and screen it to these different sizes. So this is a smaller size gravel.
What's like the weirdest thing that you've ever brought up? Like there must be some weird, I don't know, just like old toys, He-Man figurines someone dropped in the river.
Yeah, I mean, you'll definitely find some interesting stuff when we go out on the dredge. You'll see a couple baby doll heads that are out there. That's always freaky. Basketballs, all kinds of sporting stuff.
Is this sand also come from the river?
Yep, this is the sand. We screen it out, and we use this in concrete production. It's a really high quality natural sand.
Okay, maybe this is a dumb question. What's the difference between concrete and cement?
So cement is used in concrete. So we take the sand here, mix it with the little shot gravel that you saw, or any other type of like a limestone or the bigger gravel. Throw cement in it, throw a little bit of water, mix it up, and you got concrete.
Oh my gosh, there's like a secret pathway back here. I didn't even know. This is when it gets exciting, when you're going past the no trespassing sign. Okay, so what are we coming up to now?
Yeah, so the material's unloaded from the barges, like Caleb said, stockpiled here. And then from here, it goes into this big hopper and onto this gallery conveyor that runs the material up into the plant.
So this giant grabber, I don't know, what's the technical term?
Clamshell bucket.
So this clamshell bucket then pulls this and then puts it on the top of that hopper?
Yep, that's exactly right. And underneath there, and you'll see the conveyor that runs all the way up to the top of the plant.
Okay, so the things drop down over here and then go on this conveyor belt, which is pretty long.
And then it'll hit a transfer belt up there, and then it keeps running up all the way to the top of the plant, which we'll see here in a little bit. And all the materials are loaded separately.
And so over the years, like what are structures in Pittsburgh that your concrete has built?
A lot of stuff.
Stadiums?
We've done stuff all over this. Stuff at Heinz Field. We've done stuff at the old Mellon Arena. Currently, we're doing a project out at the Pittsburgh Airport. But we've been blessed to be in business this long, and to be able to have our handprint on a lot of buildings and a lot of different structures here around the city.
So this is the continuation of the conveyor belt now.
Yeah, this runs the rest of the way up to the hen house, we call it, and that's where it's distributed to all 8 different bins, depending on what material is coming up the belt.
Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of holes in the ground here. So are all these holes leading to different compartments?
Yep, there's 8 different compartments, or bins we call them, and the material hits this turnstile, we call it, and it spins
It like spins around on that track. Gosh, that is cool.
Yep, it's all automated, controlled, where the crane operator can tell it which bin he wants it on, and it'll swing around to that bin. Material will come up, and it'll put everything into that bin or compartment. So this is the bottom of the bins that we just came from. And these are the bin doors. They're pneumatically controlled, air operated, where the computer, based on our specific batch weights or recipe, you could say, for the concrete, so it weighs the material very accurately until the doors on the bottom open up, hits this conveyor, and then runs into the truck. So this is like pre-weighing all the material for each mix.
Oh wow! So you just dump it right in the truck. You're like, this much sand, this much rock, this much cement, and then the truck's full and it goes.
Yep.
And over here there was a sign that said Willie below. What does that mean?
Willie's our batch man.
Like that's his name. That's a dude.
Yep, exactly. So this is where Willie, our batchman, gets all the different mixtures, the weights, and it's all computer controlled where, it'll weigh up all the different materials and discharge it into the truck.
So you've got like cameras of all the different spots. You can see like, okay, we got sand coming in now or whatever.
Yep, exactly. He'll see what truck comes underneath the plant. He'll know, what exact mix and how many yards of concrete that truck's getting.
Oh, Willie, it looks like you're playing a complicated video game all day.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to load one right now.
When I see trucks like this, I always wonder, like, have you ever tried filling this with like making pudding in there or Jello or anything?
No, I haven't done that. But years ago for the regatta, they used to do the ducky races where they'd have the little rubber duckies, and we used to put them. They had numbers on the bottoms, and they would race them down the river, and we'd put them in the truck, mix it up, and dump them in the river, and see who won the ducky tour. Yeah,
Gosh,
probably
that's
the weirdest thing we've had.
And so in 140 years, has the way you made concrete changed a lot? Because the ingredients seem pretty basic.
Yeah, I mean, the basic ingredients really haven't changed that much. Sand, gravel, cement, water. The technology's really in the different additives that we can use and the different mixtures that we can create. And then obviously the different equipment, as far as accuracy, repeatability, and production capacity has really grown over the years. As a part of making sure the concrete's at the right quality, Frank will take samples. In each of our facilities, we'll take samples of the mix and test it for different plastic properties. So how wet it is, which is the slump.
That tells us how wet the concrete is in the truck. So some job sites that we go to have to have a certain slump. What he's doing right now is he's testing the air of the concrete, and what that tells us is how much little air bubbles there are in the concrete.
And then he'll make cylinders of a lot of the concrete, and we'll break those to see how strong the concrete is to ensure that we're meeting the proper requirements based on the type of mix and the job specification.
Well, thank you so much for the tour. That was so cool. I learned a lot about concrete. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. We loved having you guys down here. Obviously, we love bringing people in. The Hounds guys, Clay and Cole, they've been a huge part in getting a lot of people down here, getting some photographers down here. We have some wonderful photo shoots, just getting to know us.
Did you know much about concrete before meeting these guys?
Sort of. Our family history's in a custom home building, and just like growing up, and we were just labor jobs, just labor work all over. And I just felt like it was a great opportunity just to connect with these guys, and it's been great. It's great so far.
And now you're like spreading the concrete gospel.
Right. We want everybody to love Frank Bryan Concrete, for sure.
Thank you so much to all of you for making this tour possible. And here's to 140 more years, right, of Frank Bryan.
Absolutely.